welcome to episode 209 of the DORKLAIR Collecting Podcast. Today we are going to talk some dinos. We are going to talk some monkeys. What other kind of creatures are we going to talk about? We're going to talk a little bit about a couple trading card game things. We're going to talk some Mezco and possibly some 3-0 Transformer stuff. And, of course, lots of Mythic Legions news and updates. Welcome to the show. We have, as you can see, a very special guest, our friend Eric Miller. Welcome to the show, man. And
hey, thanks for having me.
And of course, as always, with me are my co-hosts, Chris and Larry. What's going on, guys?
Oh, man, another good week. It was kind of a slim week for me pickup-wise. I got this one character that I never shut up about. Not the Mythic Legions version, but the D&D version. This was actually my first purchase from Nerdzoic, so I'm going to give a plug to Nerdy. If you are a collector and you want something that's delivered quickly, delivered efficiently, and packed, more carefully than I would have done it myself, and arrived in pristine condition, give him your business.
Especially NECA. Like NECA stuff,
yeah.
he gets really early. Like, so if you do like a pre-order on a NECA thing, you're going to be one of the first people to have it through him.
Yeah, I've done a couple of other pre-orders with him. I pre-ordered the SH Figure Arts Green Goblin from No Way Home. I pre-ordered that from him. It seems like I pre-ordered one or two other things, but that's the one that really sticks out in my head. But yeah, definitely go give him some business, because one of the things that I discovered during and after the pandemic is just how important it is to support folks that have small businesses. So as much as I do like Big Bad, and they've always done me right as far as service and product goes, if I have the option, I'm going to give the business to someone I know. Another thing I picked up, I found this in the wild today. I don't usually find things in the wild, but I found something that I actually forgot to pre-order. So it's kind of shocked me that I found it in the wild. Admiral Piet. I've wanted to figure with this guy for some time. Like I've said, when it comes to the vintage collection, unless it's vintage trilogy or Mandalorian, I'm probably going to forego it. Although I'm up to episode, I think 4 or 5 of Andor, and I'm really enjoying that. So they had an Andor figure, and I can't remember the girl.
Val?
Yes. Yeah, Val. So they had Andor, they had Val, and then they had Andor in his Imperial uniform. And I came really close to picking those up. So if I was considering it, I must be loving the show. So if anyone out there has not seen Andor, dude, if I like it, anyone's going to like it. That's as much of an endorsement as I can give anything. And then the last thing I got was the Mezco 112 Destro. It's the first offering in the G.I. Joe line. And I was definitely of a mixed opinion. I was of two minds about this thing when I opened it. I'd seen some online pictures. I told Steph when I first opened, I said, in a perverse way, there's a part of me that hopes I don't like it, because then there's one line that I can not worry about. But after I played with it, put it in some poses, played around with the accessories, yeah, I dig it. Most of the Mezco stuff I purchased has been Batman. So the clothing and Conan stuff. So the clothing has been either not clothing or more armor-like stuff. So This has more fabric, unadorned with armor pieces than what I'm used to. But I really appreciate what they've done here. The posability, the articulation's great, paint's great. And unlike some of the things that I'm seeing with folks with Batman 89, you can put Destro with his arm bit and leave it there, and nothing's going to crack in the elbow. So the accessories are great. He comes with a really cool briefcase setup with swap out things. He's got his traditional laser gun that he came with in the original collection, but it's modular, so you can actually build it out to a rifle. He comes with another pistol, lots of hands, 3 different heads. And so I think it's definitely a good buy if you're on the fence and thinking about it. I would go ahead and reach out and get it, because it's a strong addition to your G.I. Joe collection. Bill, did you ever get to open yours?
I have mine.
What's your opinion?
But it's not open yet.
Oh.
I got to open it. Maybe I'll do it on the sly while we're talking tonight. But
okay.
I just haven't had a chance yet. The Monkey King dominated my time.
Oh, look.
There's a lot of things were arriving, and I have some gifts from some people that I need to like do some stuff on. Like I kind of like fast tracked when I had those prototype parts from Armies of Ashmore, because there's a very limited time on that because it's a Kickstarter. But like I have some things from Kai Lab. I have a couple things I've had for a while from Harker that actually, let me show this real quick. Now this was a one-off that he made for me specifically because he knows how much I love Bardrick, but he made this awesome cape. It's probably not going to come across very well, but it's a really cool piece, and I want to do some photos and maybe even do a quick video with that. But I've been just like totally hectic with time. But yeah, Chris, what's going on, dude?
Hey guys. Yeah, the last couple weeks, I'd got the Mythic Legions and all the game, the Etherblade figures. My order came in for that a couple weeks ago. I got the Hot Toys Ahsoka from Mando, the one with her and the little Grogu.
Cool.
I got to open that one fast because I'd seen some people have some elbow issues, but I just heated it up, pulled it out, and made the joint work. It's like a seamless upper arm into a jointed elbow, and it's hidden but with her arm wraps.
Are the wraps very just on there?
Yes, just slide right off. There's a little bit of elastic on there, so it's really easy to put back too. So.
Yeah, I'm waiting on mine. I feel like it's been a while, like just waiting on that for me, because people had. Where did you order yours from?
Time Walker.
Time
Walker.
Okay.
So I got that, I guess last week, about a week ago.
Okay. Yeah, I got mine from Underground, so I'm still waiting on that, but
nice.
I'm looking forward to it.
The biggest pickup we got recently was on Sunday. We got a dog, so
nice.
Yeah, it was good.
Congrats.
She's a 3-year-old, so she's already she was potty trained and everything, but from a rescue we found. So
nice.
Yeah,
my dog got fixed like 2 days ago, so it's been an experience for sure.
Yeah,
he's struggling with it, like the soreness and everything. He's not a happy dog right now. So, but yeah, I mean, it's worse at night. You know, it's like anything. Anytime you have like a surgery or anything like that, it's always like the worst at night when you're trying to sleep. And so like he's up, keeping us up, and
dogs are restless too. They don't just sit there usually.
Yeah, and it's like you got to keep them from, licking the area. And he's a dachshund, so like he's so long. Like long and curvy, like he can reach it even with like the donut thing on. So we got to put the big old cone on there and stuff. But whatever.
Nice.
Yeah. So Eric, before we get into your stuff in a little bit, do you want to share any recent pickups or anything like that you've had lately?
I did get some cool stuff. I don't always have new pickups, but yesterday was a good mail day. I've got a couple things here, but I should have grabbed some other stuff, I guess. But I got this custom Mythic Legions figure that was made by Eric LeBron. He's one of my favorite customizers.
Nice.
He's just a all-around good dude, and he was selling some custom,
Eric.
So I had to grab this guy.
That's awesome.
Nice. Those are metallic purples. Is that like a metallic?
Yeah, it's like
color?
metallic purple, and the green is also metallic too. It's like it's a deep green, but it's really metallic. It's really cool. It's a really cool job. And then I also got Vorga test shot.
Oh, nice. We're Vorga brothers now, because that's the one I have.
Nice. Yeah, she was the one that like I just missed in the sale. I had, like a kind of a small strike team of friends helping me.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
And she was one that got away, and I've been searching ever since. She's been like my grail, and I had someone reach out and say, "Hey, I've got one. You want it?" And we made it work. So
nice. And thank you again. I mean, you and your strike team were a huge help for getting all these shots into my hands for those reviews. So thank you again for that. Appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem. If I can help, I'm going to help. So it's cool.
Love it.
Another cool thing too, Savage Crucible started shipping some of the rewards for the Kickstarter, the coins and the comics and all that.
Yeah.
So I actually got mine yesterday. they're in another room. But I got the silver decoder coin, and the graphic novel, the printed version. So it's cool to like hold it in your hands and know that it's like happening, you know?
Yeah, I should have ordered the comic. I had read it already, you know, digitally and stuff, and I was just kind of like trying to really like pinch my pennies because of all the Kickstarters at once, and I skipped the comic. But it's pretty cool. Giannis Rubis, he's incredible. Just
yeah, his stuff's
artist.
awesome.
All right, so let's get into the chat here a little bit. I'm gonna pull up our where is it? Our banner here. I've updated it this week with our members. So shout out to the members. We do have memberships going now. I very much appreciate those who've joined. It's $1 a month, and you get a couple little emojis and things. And I've done a few kind of like early looks at things, and I did a little quick live stream. The problem with the live stream thing is that StreamYard thinks it's a private live stream, and it's very uninteractive when it comes to doing StreamYard with the member only live stream. So it's a little tricky. But yeah, I will do more of those, and maybe I'll just do them. Maybe I'll do them straight through like YouTube or something like that. But, so huge thank you to the members. And of course, as always, huge thank you to the super chats. Everybody has been so generous. I do have a giveaway. I was intending to do a Legions giveaway this week, but I have some things in boxes and I didn't have a chance to dig them out. So we're going to do a Star Wars Black Series giveaway this week, actually. And I'll show you which ones. Some things that I've decided I'm not going to end up keeping. A couple of these comic book versions of Boba Fett. So we have the like arena, the Boba Fett in disguise right here, and then we have the animated Boba Fett. So yeah,
that's one of my favorite pieces on the shelf is that animated. I just love those colors.
Yeah, and I have the Hot Toys of the animated version, and it's like that's one of my favorite Hot Toys too. But I'm not really collecting 6-inch anymore, so I feel like this is a perfect thing to do a giveaway with. So we'll do that in a bit. And yeah, so okay, so let's now get into the chat here. So let's see. I had one early one. Where did my starred comments? I had one early one right here. So we're going to talk in a little bit about the Mythic Legions in stock sale. And somebody's asking, anyone want to recommend a first Mythic Legions troll? And I personally, now I know, so in the in-stock sale, the Ice Troll does not have the extra Cyclops head. But personally, my favorite troll is the Ice Troll. But the Forest Troll, in this case, is the Forest Troll 2, and that does come with the head sculpt. That's the same one as the Ice Troll head sculpt. So that's actually another really good one. I don't think you can go wrong with any of them. They're all super similar because they're all in the exact same body, right? Just with different head sculpts. Some have two, depending on which one you buy. But yeah, I think if I were to recommend one, I'd say maybe go for the Forest Troll because I love that head sculpt. Like if I were buying another one, I'd probably get the Stone Troll, but I already have that, horned head sculpt. How about you, Eric? You got any recommendations for favorite troll?
My favorite troll by far is the Ice Troll also. But I mean, if you're going for value, the newer ones have 2 heads instead of 1, but that Ice Troll is really cool. So I mean, either it speaks to you or it doesn't. I mean, the other cool thing, it's got that ice sword that's like 14 inches big or it's like massive.
It's like a human-sized dagger for sure.
Yeah,
it's amazing. Yeah. Chris, you have some trolls, right? Or do you have?
Yeah, I have the stone in the forest. I didn't get the other 2. Like I've always wanted Brontus. That's one I remember passing on it initially, like forever ago, and then I just wasn't swinging it with the recent All Stars, but. I mean, yeah, like you were saying, they're all pretty they're pretty much exactly the same except for the heads and the weapons. So whatever you go with is good. But The ice troll does look really cool. I mean, just by colors, it looks like the neat, the best painted. The ones that are available anyway are going to be available.
Yeah. So there's the three available this Saturday are going to be the Forest 2, Stone 2, and the original Ice Troll. And Brontis is not available, but Brontis is one of those ones that was pretty recent. So like, let's say you're at a convention or something, there's a possibility you could see it turn up there. The nice thing about this weekend, and we're going to go a little more deeper into this after, is that the trolls are like the dented package type thing. They're like not mint package. So they're going to be cheaper. They're going to be like $85 for the trolls this weekend.
So it's a pretty good discount.
That's pretty good deal. Yeah. Obviously shipping, depending on where you are, can be a lot on a troll because they're huge, but yeah. Now, let me just scroll through some of these comments. Let's just run through some names here. All right, we have Billy Beige Customs, who has an awesome video that he just put up, I think this morning or this afternoon, where he's just popping a figure together and just chatting and like going over geeky news, going over some movie news, going over some action figure news. It's a great video. Billy Beige Customs. Everybody should go subscribe. Great channel right there. So what's going on there? We've got John Hine, 6 bunks, bruh. And who else we got here? Bernie Clement, Rabbit Den, Braku Prime with the amazing intro that we are rocking. And I did a little shortcut as an outro too. So we got that in full force now. Thanks again, Braku, for the amazing intro. Who says,
terrific.
I called it the Forest Troll, but yeah, the Ice Troll. Yeah. Hedgehog in the house. Forest first, and that one rules. Laura's here. Hey, Laura, we're all here. We're all here. This is like your dream come true. You're always complaining that one of us is missing.
Collect them all.
Rick Jones, T. Belay, Scott Baker, Steph Ork, Fetmatic. What's going on? Expecting Black Series. Let's see. Expecting Black Series. Bad Batch Rex, Comic Darth Maul, end of this week. Received the Black Series Patrol Trooper last week. Received Mafex, X-Force Deadpool. I saw that, we should have put this on there, but the Mafex Nightwing is shipping out too. Oh, Nate Strong is in the house. What's up, dude? Got the channel on in the Strong Bar in Travis, and Old Man Kyle and Brian are watching and consuming. Nice. Hey, everybody.
Awesome.
Futuretic 97, JG, Native Son, Michael Casper, playing with plastic, Trevor Williams, Steve Wegling, Ender. Let's see. Am I missing anyone? Uncarded Reviews. Mentioning this one, I probably could have put this on the news as well. Gorgo Attila 2-pack is back on Big Bad Toy Store for pre-order. It's a $10 price hike they put on it. I feel like this is like when they institute like their anti-scalper moves where they raise the price a little bit and they drop the limit to 2 per person. And they, they kind of try to limit things. Cause I think a lot of people just use their pile of loot to like drop ship to people and stuff. And I think they're trying to combat that a little bit. And then also like, I know they've been battling their warehouse space lately with the downturn in the economy and stuff. I've heard that they are struggling to maintain space, people ordering less, shipping less. And so that's the reason for all these sales that they do, the daily sales and stuff.
Yeah. That was kind of, I mean, I guess I shouldn't be that surprised, but yeah, them doing the daily sales was pretty new, like with a lot of like 15 or 20 different things.
And usually there's at least 1 to 2 really cool things on there at an awesome price.
You have to ship them immediately. That's the only downside. I've been there's times when I haven't bought anything yet, but sometimes I'm like, oh, I should just like cancel my pile of loot item and then just rebuy it with the thing so I can like ship 2 items together or something like that. I don't know.
Right.
Kind of game it a little bit, but I don't know if they probably would appreciate that.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like there's certain times where they don't care, and there's probably times like this where they're a little more
Yeah.
aware of that
Selective.
stuff. All right, let's pull this down. Again, thanks everybody for joining the memberships. Very much appreciate it. If I can find it. All right. Okay, we're gonna do a couple Mythic Legions news, and then we're gonna go through Eric Miller's story here. So let's talk about the in-stock sale since we're kind of on that already. So let me pull that up here. So first up, I got the Mythic Legions in-stock sale this Saturday, the 20th at 12 p.m. noon Eastern time. It's it's basically the Alithia in-stock sale that a lot of people have been waiting for, plus a few other select items, some of which could potentially be fairly limited. But there's nothing too crazy. There's always the potential for surprises. So be on your toes, like you never know what they could slide in there. But for the most part, you're going to be seeing the Alithia wave fully, which I would imagine that would have potentially the biggest supply of all the things, right? Because this is that sale. This is the Alithia wave sale. And then you have the All-Stars 3, a couple All-Stars 3 things. You have which one was All-Stars 3? Was it the Forest Troll? I forget which All-Stars it was, but you have the Forest Troll and the Ice Troll. One of them's 3 and one of them's 4. All right, so those are the two. That's the Forest Troll 2 and the Stone Troll 2. Then you have the Ice Troll, which is not this Ice Troll 2. It's the original Ice Troll, so it's not going to come with the Brontist head, even though my post on on Instagram had it in there. I was wrong. It's not the one with the Brontist head, with the Cyclops head. And then you have the tributes that were in All-Stars 3, I believe, which is Dragul and Dorina, aka She-Ra and Hordak. And then you have the tributes from All-Stars 4, which is Bryophytus and Mephitor, aka Stinkor and Mossman. And then the other thing is... Okay, so then we have Sir Owain and the Equidron 20th Anniversary Equidron Edition, which is the one that came in the bundle, but this is just the figure. It's not the bundle. All right.
I was kind of surprised they had. I thought that was like something they were totally done with.
Long ago.
Today.
Yeah. So like, they've said there's going to be certain things where there's like only a case. I could imagine that being one of them. Possibly this Ice Troll. And then, all of Alithia, they only showed the black hands and feet pack, but I would imagine the brown one's going to be there too. These are like the leather hands and feet.
I think they mentioned on the live that they were going to have the brown too.
Okay,
cool.
Good. Yeah. And then the wings, of course. Their newest item is a mouse pad, of all things. They actually had that at the convention I was at, and I didn't get one because I won't use a mouse pad. Like I don't use them. I would use it if it was a playmat, like trading card game playmats. They're essentially giant mouse pads. I would totally get one if it was that. But they have the mouse pad and they have a pin. I don't know if this is the only pin they're gonna have or what, but the 4 Horsemen pin. I think that's Tibius is on there too. Oh, speaking of Tibius, I'm gonna put myself all the way up because where are we here? Can I do it? Because if you're not familiar with Eric Miller, you probably would remember him because of this Tibius baseball head sculpt. And I actually went to my first baseball game in like 5 years this weekend. Sunday night, I went to Fenway for the first time since before the pandemic. And it was a blast, even though the Sox got crushed. It was like a battle of last place teams. It was the Red Sox and who the hell were they playing? Oh my God, I can't remember who they played. It'll come to me in a minute. I'm trying to remember who they played, but it was a really bad team and they crushed the Sox.
That's
okay.
fun.
So I'm going to put myself down. Exit solo. And yeah, so Tibius. Did I miss any, guys? I think I got everything.
I think that was everybody.
Yeah, that's everyone. So yeah, if I had to predict which ones might be like the ones that are just like a case only, none of these are super rare. None of these are hard to find. Like they're none of these are like double retail or anything crazy like that right now. So it's not too crazy, which is why I wonder if they're gonna sneak something in sneaky style. But I would say the Equidron might be the one that would be hardest to get. So if you want that one, that's the kind of one you would maybe want to target as like put it in your cart, check out, and then come back for the others type of situation. You guys going for any of these?
I thought about getting another Bardrick or two. Like I was just not. I didn't really. I think I went. I got enough of Alethea during like the original pre-order. But that he was one. I like the figure, but I only just have one of them. So
I'm toying with the idea of the Mossman and Stinkor homages. Because I have a handful. I have the Hordak and the She-Ra and several others. I'm not complete on those, but I at least like the Stinkor enough to buy this. I'm not sure about that Mossman. And then the what'd you say the bat looking dude was? I don't know these guys' names. I buy them strictly because of how they look. The bat that's above and to the right of the Mossman.
The White Wings. It's
Varg.
Yeah, I really like the way
dwarf size, if that matters.
No, it doesn't. I just think he's cool looking. So I was thinking like kind of having him next to the Hordak, homage, because his motif is bats, and I thought they look cool next to each other.
Yeah, Varg is sweet. Varg is an awesome figure. I love that one. That head sculpt is nuts. And then he's got some really neat parts with that collar and those armbands and stuff.
Yeah, really good stuff.
Yeah, I might go for him too now that I think about it.
And I need to grab a Bryophytus. And again, it's not like super critical. Like some people have mentioned, some of these are still available for retail, on like the Med Toy store and whatnot. Like I don't have a Mephitor. I've been meaning to pick one up, and I gave away my Bryophytus. I gave away a Bryophytus and a Xylernian Guard because I gave away a Kit Bash during the Legions Lounge Kit Bash competition, the Pop and Swap Stars competition. And that was my only Bryophytus. And I went to the event on, I forget what the date was, but I went to an event a couple weeks ago where the Four Horsemen were there with the intention to pick up at their table another Bryophytus and another Xylernian. I got the Xylernian, but they didn't have Bryophytus. So I'll probably grab Bryophytus and Mephitor, I think. But it's not I'm not going to be like crazy. Like if I have an event that day, if I miss it, I'm not going to be too busted up about it.
Mephitor is a great figure. I feel like not a lot of people like him, but I absolutely love that figure.
I love goblins, and a black-skinned goblin, even just on that level, to me is incredible. And of course, it's got the Fuzz Monk head too, so it's a really cool. I think it's a cool figure. I just haven't had it in hand yet. Yeah. Okay. Let's check the chat here. So, Hedgehog, yes, it was the Cardinals. I was drawing a blank there. Equidron is the big surprise. I agree. That's one that's like, wow, okay, they still got that.
I think his price is leveled out a little bit, but that one got nuts for a while.
Early on, it was. Do you have access to your Phobos and Boreas horses? Would Boreas' head work on Phobos's body? Would Boreas' head work on Phobos's body? I mean, physically, it would pop right on there, but in terms of like, is it going to look right color-wise? Not really. But yeah, you can physically put Boreas's head, you can put it on there, but they're definitely quite different colors. One's gray and one's black. Let's see. Varg is awesome. Yeah, and that's like another thing, like Chris said, Bardrick is top 5 all-time Legions for me. So it's like I'm always tempted to buy more Bardricks.
The new cloth parts have been fun for customs and stuff too. Like I'm out of the ones that I had, so
Yeah.
I don't really need anything from the sale, but I'm thinking about going back for some Valak or maybe some Bardrick too.
Yeah. You know what they need to do is they need a Legion builder with those arms and legs.
That would be awesome.
With All Stars on the horizon, I'm gonna hold off. Yeah, that's kind of like I'm still feeling that way too. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not going crazy. In fact, it may end up being nothing. If I'm busy, I might just overlook it because I can get everything I want at some other time at a convention. I mean, they're going to be at ChrisCon in July. A lot of this will probably still be there. I could pick it up there. Stone Troll is tempting. I mean, at this price, I'm also slightly tempted to get another troll, even though I've kind of said I'm just going to keep one troll only. But at this price, that is very tempting. 85, I think they said. All right.
Yeah, that would be good. I agree about like not being so crazy. Like if this was like a month after Alithia just hit, then I'd probably would have like, but gone more. But like I think it's been forever. I mean, so yeah, I had bought some extras off of other retailers and stuff already. So
yeah, but it's good. Like this is a lot of people have been waiting for this. We weren't even sure if it was going to happen. They are so locked into their like timeline and their schedules that they were, I think, having a hard time trying to figure out when they were going to squeeze this thing in. It does have a timeline, so certain things will sell out, but if they don't, then it's just a week. It's just a 1 week sale. They're not going to be up there for like 3 weeks or something. So if you want something, grab it because they're going to be moving on pretty quickly to that All Stars 6 wave, which will be revealed June 2nd, I think. They're going to maybe reveal like the winners or something. And then on like June 2nd, they're going to reveal the new figures.
Do you remember how much Alithia was on the pre-order? Is that like a $50 figure?
45 or 50, I would say. Yeah.
Yeah. Give it Dante.
Ooh, Joe going to customize a troll. Sweet. Equidron, 65, I want to say. I wish I had written down all the prices. Jeremy did a live stream and he talked, he mentioned some of these on Mythic Customs.
I want to say it was 100 or like so with the bundle of the shirts and pins and everything.
Yeah. So it'll be, less than that at least.
I think Shadow I can't say his name. Equidron was I think he was 65, so I imagine it would probably be that price.
Right. Yeah, so we answered that question too. It's gonna be up for a week, but some things will sell out. Some things will go within minutes. Some things will last hours. Some things will last days. I could see maybe Bryophytus and like those more recent tributes kind of last in a while. Yeah. I will say this, a figure I recommend that's a little bit older than the Alithia wave is Sir Owain. Sir Owain's awesome. Such a good figure. And if you don't
This
own
is
one,
the knight that's next to the black horse.
Yeah, this knight right here.
Okay.
Yeah, he's awesome. Really good. Really cool look and paint job and stuff on that. It's like a flatter style to it. Not like a less shiny armor. Okay. One more item, which is the Monkey King. And I can finally talk about this. I've actually had this. I had this in hand the last time we had the episode.
Oh, wow.
So I've had this for like 3 weeks now. And yeah, so the latest Figura Obscura was the Monkey King. There's been a lot of talk about it. My review's up there. There's been multiple episodes of different shows talking all about it. But I thought we'd just kind of quickly go through this figure, which is, in my opinion, one of the coolest things they've ever done.
I totally agree. I'm so excited for him.
Yeah, it's been a long time since I've seen something that has like so many new parts. Like, they're really not reusing much besides like the main, maybe the upper arms and thighs.
Yep.
Um,
Yep.
and
It's
creating all new hands and feet that are like very specific, obviously.
yeah. Yeah. It's 100% the most new stuff, the most original, unique figure they've ever done. Like there's, like you said, the upper arms, upper legs, the back, the torso is one of those like Bardricks where it's like the chest plate and the back part is still that same back torso, but like the chest plate's new. And then the neck and everything else, every single other piece on this figure is brand new. So like there's nothing else out there that's as unique as this in the, the Mythic Legions line, or, the Four Horsemen Mythic Legions buck. But it's just incredible. And then, Trevor and Nate with the artwork, just totally different style for him. Just this awesome,
Yeah.
different style for him. And then Trevor with the photos, so good. I wish we had. That's the last one down there. This one is. I think this is a lot of people's favorite shot here. Trevor's photos.
That's awesome.
It's really cool because, for one, it kind of like similar to what they did with Father Christmas, where it's like up till Father Christmas they were like dark Mythic Legions kind of monster, fantasy monster type things, right? And then Father Christmas like really changed it, because not only was it like this very traditional like Victorian sort of thing, it also was a ton of cloth goods and stuff, and that just shifted every expectation around. And then this one just shifts everything as well. The fact that it's like the first one where it's almost all new parts. Like this is a huge leap of faith for them to put that much money into that much new tooling on a brand new figure, and one that's not exactly like lined up perfectly with the rest of their themes and stuff, right? This Eastern Chinese cultural mythological character, like this is definitely like one of the furthest ones outside of their wheelhouse, I guess, and typically. So it's a bit of a leap of faith, but things sold out real fast, and people seem to really like it. I mean, I've seen some people who are disappointed in it, but that's more like, it's more where they're saying, I just don't want it because it's not something that interests me. Not, oh, that looks like a bad figure type of thing.
I like it
Yeah,
because it's so
totally.
random.
Like my initial reaction was kind of a little like off of like, well, do I want that? Because I'm being on the West Coast, I slept in and I completely missed the first drop. So I was like, oh, it's not, it's not a big deal, because like, yeah, the parts especially are very specific. Like even like the new, I was like, oh, there's actually new like dwarf legs, but they're like, have a dragon on them, so they're like
Right.
kind of like this specific, but it's still really impressive. I'd say one thing I do like is that they gave you, I mean, 2 whole heads, so you can, with one purchase you can create another, monkey guy to walk around with, or if you bought 2 of them, you can easily make 4, and just, that adds a lot of playability.
Yeah, and even like, so this one here with the little crown hat, the cap on top, like that one's typically has the feathers off, but you just take those feathers off. And like, for example, I have it on a knight right here. Let me pull myself up again. Can I do this? And, it looks really cool that way.
Yeah.
Even without the feathers and stuff. Because the holes are very, they're not that, you don't really notice them that much from this angle. And then, like you said, it's, it's enough to have two guys. I did put the red arms on there. Somebody had asked to see it with the red. I prefer the way it comes, but the red arms do look really cool too. But yep, you can do totally 2 full monkey
Yeah, two sets
guys.
of hands. Like it was a great, or is there 3 sets? I forgot.
3 sets of hands.
Okay.
There's vertical and horizontal hinged, and then
Oh,
there's
okay.
the like gesturing hands. Although I probably would have preferred, and again, it's just like a preference thing, but if it had a fist, like instead of having 2 different gripping hands, like 2 different angles, like fists would be cool because he's a kung fu, like, you know, like his thing is kung fu, so like fists or even like straight hands or something would be kind of cool. But the sculpture is it's mind blowing. I can't wait for people to get it in hand because, you know, even close up videos and cover shots and all that stuff, like you still don't quite get that feeling of having it in hand and really seeing. I don't know, like it's the sculpture, but it's also the quality of the output at the factory where the molds and everything is so crisp and like there's like a depth, there's like a very much of like a sharp depth to the sculptures when they produce these things. It's just like all the things coming together. It's really good.
Yeah, in the last few years, they've definitely gotten that a lot, like just nice and tight, and sharp. You know, it's like really in there.
I bet there will be a way to combine those monkey face plates with other figures, even if they aren't a perfect match, and a little drumming. Yeah, somebody had asked if you could swap the face plates with Attila, right? Like he's got that lion head, and you could put a monkey face in there. Would be cool. And yeah, you could totally. It would take a lot of cutting away, but you could totally like find a way to do it if you're up for completely modding both of those heads. Any other last thoughts on it? Did you guys who ordered this? Chris, did you order?
Yeah, I wound up ordering it on the second drop.
Nice. Eric? Of course, yeah, you said you did, right?
Yeah, I got I maxed out the limit on both drops.
Me too. I ended up getting 4. Yeah. So 2 in the morning, 2 at night.
There's too many unique parts to not grab some extras.
Exactly. I mean, I literally have so many different like swaps that I want to do with it that like even just not even customizing, just part swaps. There's a ton. And like when Lee J comes out, like I'm gonna want to have another one for him too. Like if I get a couple extra Lee J's, that the Golden Knight that's in the retailer exclusive wave.
Oh yeah.
I think that's going to be perfect because it's an Asian head sculpt, right? It's got gold. It's going to mix in perfectly with this. And then somebody had mentioned, and I'm not going to be able to find it, but somebody had mentioned, you know, they definitely need to do a retailer version of this. And I would expect the success that this had and the quick sellout that it had to definitely light a fire under them to do that. So I fully expect that they're going to start working on that very soon. Maybe they'll do another retailer appreciation wave and have it woven in there or something like that. But I'm interested to see what they'll do. You know, like there's certain things that are kind of like core to the character. One of the cool things is like, I learned a ton about this figure. I just learned a lot about this character because I had it for a week. Like they sent it to me, I unboxed it and I recorded that bit of my review. And then it was a full week before I recorded anything else. I just learned and read and just kind of like educated myself on the character. And then I did my video. It's one of the beauties of this line, is you learn a lot. But like one of the core things is like his armor is gold. Like it's golden armor, like in all the stories. So
okay.
I wonder what they would do. Would they do a different color and sort of take their own angle with it or what? But yeah, I'm sure it will. I'm sure it will happen. Oh yeah, the all-in stayed up longer than on the second drop. The all-in with the water bottle type thing, the pins and stuff, that stayed up longer than the standard one, which was interesting. Because usually those sell out like super fast.
Yeah, that first drop, I wanted the all-in, so I like I didn't even take time to really look at the figure. I just got it as fast as I could and went out. Then I went back and then looked at the figure and was like, oh wow, these are like all new parts, you know, and that, like it didn't really hit me until later.
Right. And right. My video, that's one thing people have been saying. Billy actually mentioned this in his video today. Like some people have expressed that like they would like to see, if they do it again, potentially my video come up before the drop, right? Like if it's like an hour or something before the drop. I don't know if they'll ever do that. I think they like the surprise aspect of the drop and then have the video come after, but something they could try maybe.
There's something about not knowing until you see it pop up like on the site, but
yeah,
I'm also one of those people that's going to get it no matter what it is. So I understand their stance on that too, like wanting to know, like I get it.
Yeah, totally. Nolan did the same, all in quick. Retailer could be the evil version. I like that. A darker kind of thing. I think that would be neat if the monkey parts, the fur monkey parts, if that was a different colorway. You know what I mean? Like if that was something
like just a little darker or something.
Yeah, like a darker color or something more fantastical, maybe. Could be interesting.
I think I've seen, I don't know a lot about the character. I haven't really researched it yet, but people have said something about a gold variant, like I think referring to the fur being gold.
Okay, that'd be cool. Hedgehog wants to see an Arctic monkey. Nice. All right. Any other thoughts? I think we're good to go on the Monkey King. If anybody wants to see more about it, I mean, Jeremy, probably in my opinion, the coolest thing to come out post-release was Jeremy's interview with Eric Treadaway last night on Mythic Customs, because he just does a deep dive into the history of how this came about, his inspiration, the process of doing these, even just the Figura Obscura line in general, just all sorts of really cool things on that one. All right. Okay. Now it's Eric Miller time. not that wasn't meant to be like Miller time or anything like that. Sorry.
Too late. We're all thinking about it now.
Yeah, sorry. So Eric, welcome to the show. First time here. We're really glad to have you. I've been just a huge fan of your work for a long time now. And why don't you start off by telling us about your customs and your hobby and all this stuff?
Well, first off, the feeling is mutual. I've been a fan of yours for quite a while. It's pretty awesome to be here. I really appreciate it. But yeah, I mean, that's my kind of customizing journey. I dabbled for a really long time in it. I started maybe like it was probably like a little over 10 years ago. Just dabbled a little bit up until Mythic Legions. Basically, I made those the Mythic Legions Ninja Turtles that everyone kind of knows about, and got some shout outs from Cornboy about it, and that just kind of lit a fire under me to, like, you know, I was like, I think this is something I want to be like actually good at, and like, you know, try to like do maybe even professionally. So that's kind of been how the last few years have gone for me. Like it's been my thing nonstop pretty much. And yeah, I mean, that pretty much brings us up to speed. It's like I work and I paint, and then, you know, that's about it. I have a family and I spend time with them, but I do paint probably more than I should.
So all of your leisure time is like dedicated to this.
Yeah, and I did commissions for a while, and that got not fun really quick. So now I pretty much just do like commissions for like friends, or just like, you know, if I'm in the mood for it, like, yeah, I'll do it. But I like to work on my own stuff for the most part.
Yeah. These are the turtles that you were mentioning.
Those are awesome.
And like, this is a lot. Like, I know this is September of 21, but these are much earlier than that. Like right? Like, do
Oh,
you remember
yeah.
what year did you do those?
Well, those are the Colosseum orc as a base. And I
Okay.
got the 4 of those to make those figures during the in-stock sale for Colosseum. So,
Okay.
yeah,
2018.
but 2018 probably.
Yeah, they're so cool. I mean, and you've done Shredder over here. Is there a full picture of him?
I don't know if there's one on my Instagram or not.
Okay.
Check out that Casey Jones. It's above
Oh,
Donatello.
right here. There it
Oh,
is.
Yeah, that's my favorite one because I love Casey. That's awesome.
He was fun. That's my action figure customs head, and it's just kind of like screaming for a Casey Jones paint job. I think.
Yeah,
It really
that
is.
feels perfect for that.
It really does. I love it.
You know, it's funny. Billy Beige was talking about doing a Jason Voorhees on his show today, so maybe he could look that head up.
He's cycling through all that old inventory for like one last hurrah with the Mythic Legion stuff, so maybe it'll show up.
It could. Okay, so let's get back up to. Oh, this is your Frankenberry.
That one gets a lot more attention than I thought it ever would.
Yeah.
It's
awesome.
just very like
Cool.
whimsical and you know, it's a lot of fun.
A lot of people tell me it's their favorite, and I think that's awesome. I was just gonna do the head originally, but then once I did the head, I was like, I think I should do the whole figure. I thought it would be a cool kind of like test and like doing like a monochromatic figure too. And he came out pretty cool. I'm really happy with it.
I feel like spiritually it's right in with the baseball tibius there, you know, with the
it's one of those things where it's like people are either going to love this or they're going to really, really hate it.
Is that you?
Yes, Mr. Allen. He like got on my Facebook and found a photo of me from like 15 years ago, where I was
wow, look at that hair,
a ridiculous face.
All right, let's get back up to the top into some.
The best part
stuff.
was I was on his show a second time and he used the same photo again.
Oh, he did.
Yeah.
You know, I was on his show recently, and it was such a good time. I had such a blast on his show.
I love being on his show. I was supposed to be on it about a month ago, but I was out of town that night, so I wasn't able to do it. I was really bummed that I couldn't because I love being on his show.
Yeah. This is awesome. This is the figure fix head, right?
Yeah. I did that for a Goblin head swap kind of event that they did in the Malignancy, the Goblin Facebook group.
Yep.
And that's the one that I did for the person I got paired with, but the post office lost it.
Oh, that's right. I read.
Yeah, I gotta make something else for him now. I was bummed. I thought it came out pretty cool.
It is sweet.
Yeah, it's a terrific paint job. Yeah.
Yeah, you have a distinct. I don't know what to say. Like, you have a style. Like, you definitely have a very, like, when I see an Eric Miller, like, it's recognizable style for sure.
That makes me happy. I mean, I think it's cool that I have a style. Like, I never intentionally brainstormed like what is going to be my style or anything like that, but it's cool that people can recognize that.
It's a certain way with the shading, with the way you finish things, and it's just like it's a very distinct thing that I very much appreciate about your stuff. You can see it here too.
I shoot for depth and contrast in everything that I do, for sure.
Yeah. Why don't you talk a little bit about your brush with pro work here with Paint Masters?
So that was cool. I had the honor of creating a character, creating a color scheme for a character for Savage Crucible. I did this figure here, which is the Imperial Sentry, which is the Kickstarter /convention exclusive. So unfortunately, if you missed the Kickstarter, he's not on any of the retailers or websites or anything like that, but he'll be at shows coming up. But yeah, I mean, I've had a really cool relationship with Rob Post for the last few years. And, you know, it basically started with me reaching out, just kind of saying like, you know, I noticed some other painters were having like sales of my action figure custom pieces and stuff. And I just sent him a message one day and said, hey, what's the arrangement here for this? Like, are they just buying all these pieces? Are you fronting them? What's the deal or whatever? And he instantly was just like, I'm going to make you one of my painters. I'm going to add you to the website. You need to give me your logo. Wow. I'm going to like do all this stuff. So he like instantly invested in me, which was awesome. And I'm going to be eternally grateful for that. But, you know, a couple days after that, he was like, okay, I'm going to send you an NDA and I want you to sign it. And I've got some stuff I want to show you. And I just figured that it was more my action figure custom stuff, but he got me on a video chat and he started showing me all this concept artwork for Savage Crucible. And this was about three years ago. Right. It's been a long time ago. So I was kind of blown away at what I was seeing. I just kind of like dove headfirst into this whole thing kind of unknowingly, but obviously very honored to be kind of privy to that information. And I saw a lot of those character designs that got me really, really excited. So yeah, it came time to do this. I did some preliminary paint jobs for some sculpts close to 3 years ago, like not long after that initial conversation. But none of those ended up being final characters, but it was cool just to kind of get an idea of what was going on with the line. Right. And then, you know, when he came out with these lizard people, like I kind of told him like, I want to do that one. I want to paint that one. And then gave me the opportunity to do it. I asked him if he had any specifics for color or anything like that. And he was like, nope, that's up to you. So I figured since it was the exclusive, my idea was kind of to take the coloring of like the Savage Crucible logo that you always see, where it's kind of like that red fading into like gold and yellow tones. And so I based my character on that logo as kind of a commemorative thing. And then originally it was all airbrushed and like faded and everything, but then I had the idea to do this kind of like spotted look. Right. And I basically painted this figure half and half. Like half of it was airbrushed and faded all evenly, and then the other half was this spotted look. And he was like, no, we're going with the spots. So that was basically it. And then the armor that I came up with was the second colorway for the armor, but we all kind of agreed that it fit the character best.
So this right here is the master. Is that right?
Yeah, and there's a couple of them I had to paint like identically. I think one, I could be wrong. I think one's going to China for the factory, and then the other one's going to stay in America so that we have something to compare the figures to, like when they start sending in samples.
Yeah, you gotta have that. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, it's so cool. This was the way this being the first wave, and because like I said earlier, like I had to pick and choose a bit. I couldn't be like all in on the entire Kickstarter because of the other stuff that was going on. And so this wave I went all in on. So I do have this figure on order. And then I kind of picked and chose like a few one-offs from the other waves. But yeah, I made sure to
I went all in because it was kind of a momentous thing for me.
Yeah,
but
totally.
I don't know if that was the best decision financially, but I had to.
Yeah. You'll be happy when it ships, and that money is like past distant memory.
Yeah. I should have some extra Imperial Centuries too, and I'm definitely going to be that guy that like whenever anyone finds out about it, I'm going to be like, yeah, I made this, and I'm going to hold it up like I did this.
Yep, totally.
Yeah, I would. It's really awesome.
Absolutely.
To be a fan of toys for so long, and then
to be
I've wanted to do toys my whole life, really.
Yeah.
I think I went through long periods where I kind of denied it, but I mean, that's my passion is toys, and not only toys, but like toy production and that sort of things. Like I really want to be a part of it. So yeah, it's a big deal to me. I'm excited. It's gonna feel. It still like hasn't really hit me. Like doing the prototype feels like making a custom figure or something, you know. But when I see the final figure come in, it's gonna hit me, and it's gonna be cool.
Hey, Reynolds Cruz with the super chat. First one of the night, right? First super chat. Yeah,
Yes.
I think so.
Yeah.
What's up, man? I got something to show of yours right now. I gotta grab it. Hang on. Wait, hold on. I can show that, right, Reynolds? Yeah, he's showing it on. Yeah, I can show this. Hang on. This is one I gotta do. I want to do a couple photos. I kind of want to paint it. Like, I just don't have time right now. But so he's working on. This is funny because he's one of the like 2 people who called the Monkey King. You know, when they were teasing it, he was like, "I think it's going to be Sun Wukong." You know, he's one of like 2 people who called it with the scrolls, right? I think part of it is because he's been working on his own Monkey King, you know, or ape-like head sculpt. And let me, which I
Reynolds
have
is
right
a
now.
super talented guy too.
He absolutely.
I think he was bummed when the 4 Horsemen launched that, you know, and he was planning on doing it. But I told him, like, no, you should be proud of that because it's awesome. Like, you did a great job.
Absolutely. And this, like, I think it's fortuitous because now there's a bunch of different, like everything with 4 Horsemen, like there's a core body that is like totally mix and matchable with all the stuff you're going to make. And I know he does armor and stuff too. But here's that head sculpt that he's working on.
Oh, cool.
He sent it to me to you know, because I have the figure in hand and I could do like a fitting. And I think it looks really good. It's like scale wise, like a little bit smaller, but I've heard some people say that, you know, they do kind of wish that the Sun Wukong head was a little bit smaller. I like both sizes, but I think this works perfectly. But yeah, there it is. There's the Reynolds Cruz Forge collection. I got the sticker right here. Hang on. The Forge collection right there. Very cool, man. I'm looking forward. I want to paint this. I need to find the time. And one of the things too is the fur looks right. Like it looks like it kind of matches the fur on this, especially where it is in the beard. It kind of matches the sculpt, which is really cool. And I also saw, speaking of creators, let me exit that. I saw Matthew in the house. Post office lane. Matthew Rodriguez is in the house, and we're going to be talking about Armies of Ashmore in a little bit, updating on that line, which is phenomenal and getting very close to funded. So yeah,
I cannot wait. I'm so excited.
That's one of the things I'm like most looking forward to. Yeah, Reynolds, thank you. Scott says he's going to need that one for Animal Warriors. And I think that's his intention, is to make it like, you know, functional for both. Okay. What else? Do you have any, let me pull this back up again. Do you have, so are you working on more? I don't know if you can even talk about it or what, but like, is there future paint masters are there paint masters in your future?
I hope so. I am not like currently working on anything. I mean, from your thumbnail, I'm working on painting those Armies of Ashmore weapons that you did a video on. And I was just doing those for fun, but Matthew said some potentially exciting things about that as well. So we'll see how that goes.
I wish I had had those handy. I don't know why I don't. Let me.
I have them sitting here. I know, like it's not as good on camera, but I mean, like here's that shield that's in the.
Oh yeah, let me. Okay,
that's cool.
There we go. Oh my
god.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome.
The goal was to do it in some more like traditional metallic colors to make basically an armor set that could be used for like anything that would be fun. So I just did like a lightly weathered bronze with silver and gold highlights.
It came out so good. So awesome.
It's it came out looking cool. It had an intense ugly phase, but almost everything does. So yeah. That's the only part I've painted so far. I've got to do the rest to match.
And just like, can you give some, I did my video, but can you give some impressions of having these pieces and just having these sculptures in your hand? What are your thoughts?
They're amazing. There's a lot of tiny little details on them. Lots of little dents and pock marks and little places where it shows wear and things like that. Just incredibly detailed, and they're huge too.
Yeah.
So
Like, ogre scale.
If you've got like Mythic Legions ogre scale figures or anything like that, like you're gonna want these to go with them for sure.
Yep. I could see him going in with the Death Adder figures from the Golden Axe line too. Like certain ones painted in a certain way could go with that. Can I drop the news on here? Oh yeah, go ahead. Yeah. So can we just have Eric give the news? Is that, or what's the news? Matthew,
I don't know what the news is.
Matthew, do you want to jump on with us? Do you want to jump on the live? Super Miller time. Oh God, I started something. All right, so super impressed with Miller time. I'm going to do my best to have this be a second weapons pack colorway option. There it is. That's the news, that this is potentially Eric's second paint master job, right?
Cool.
I guess so. I mean, like that was never my intention when we were talking about painting it, but man, that's exciting, and I am more than willing to contribute any way that I can to make that line as awesome as it can be. So that's really, really exciting and cool.
Yeah, this is an exclusive reveal right here, is that Matthew is planning. Obviously, not everything is always going to work out, but he's going to do his best to try to get this in the line. So this being like another colorway accessory set. So that's awesome. And the funny thing is like how this worked out, where I got these pieces in, Eric just, randomly commented, "Oh my God, I would love to paint those." And I was like, "Hey, let me check and see if I can just send these." And so the story is that Len printed these out so that they could share pictures and put them with Legion's ogre scale figures and just have like physical, like an extra physical set of all these accessories to show people and to show them with other figures and just to have. And Len thought, oh, I'll send them to Bill and Bill can take photographs, maybe do whatever, and I was like, okay, I'll do a quick video and take some shots. Let me actually, I think it would be good to show, so there's an ogre scale figure with it, right?
Yeah.
Like
that's the same piece. Yeah.
That's literally the same piece. So Eric commented, "Oh, I would love to paint those," like just randomly, like a wish, right? And I was like, let me check. And they're like, "Cool, send them." And so I sent them over to Eric, and did his magic. And
I totally didn't expect anything, but then when Bill texted me, like, well, "Do you want to paint them?" I was like, "Well, yeah, for sure."
Yeah. So, yep. I mean, just look at these pieces, just on that half giant. It's just freaking awesome. So yeah. So congrats on, hopefully that will happen. That would be awesome. But what's not going to happen is this line isn't going to exist unless we get this thing funded. And now would be a really good time to pull up the.
Yeah, it's very close.
So it is 99,466 out of. So it is like exactly 10,000 away, pretty much.
Yeah.
I mean, it's theoretical. This could cross into 100K tonight. It's only a few hundred away from that. So yeah.
Kind of my intention with painting those pieces was just to kind of put it out there because, you know, he's kind of marketing the customizability of the figures now, especially with adding the blank figures.
Yep.
So I thought it would be cool. Like, why don't we show people how they take paint?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That they came out so good. So yep. So this is the new since the last time we recorded, one of the new things is they're doing blanks, and these are only $35. That's kind of mind blowing because the regular ones are $65, right? And so these are practically half the price for customizers to just get blank bodies, to get blank, not just bodies, but blank figures to do custom paints on. So that's an awesome addition. You can do those as add-ons, I believe, right?
Yeah.
So like you do your pledge, like my pledge is the all-in, and whatever your pledge is, and then you can add these on later. So that's really cool. So increments of 35, you can get just extra blank figures for the customizers. And then just for the swappers, like me, because I'll probably end up buying some blanks, and then I'll like intend to paint them, and like 5 years later maybe I will. But
I told him I was going to get a set of blanks, and he was like, "Oh, I can't wait to see what you do with them." And I was like, "To be honest, they're probably going to sit there unpainted forever."
Yeah. Yeah, and then the other thing that's been added is the choose a head pack add-on. So these are $25 for the head pack add-ons, and they include 3 alternative heads, but also each will have its own neck piece. Sweet. That's awesome. So like they're in the same colors as the various figures, right? So you can mix and match and have the different color bodies with the different color heads depending on what kind of looks you want. So that's awesome.
Yeah, that's really smart to do that.
Yep. And they did the weapons pack add-ons, which that might have been there when we updated last time, I think. And we definitely talked about these. So they have the different stretch goal exclusive figures with the albino infantry and the clear blue, and then the big stretch goal of the brand new sculpt, the brand new figure. Matthew, if you're in the chat still, let us know if you want us to add anything to this conversation. Oh, send him an invite. Okay, let me do that. Invite. Copy that, Matthew. All right, I sent them the invite. We'll come back to this. While we're doing that, let's do this giveaway. I'm just gonna give both figures away to one person because I have like a lot of stuff going on. So I'm gonna pull up the giveaway tool. We're giving away 2 different Boba Fett's from the Black Series today. So we're gonna do this hashtag. Start collecting. So let me pull this down. For those of you who weren't here earlier, we're giving away the 2, like, I call them comic packs. Usually this is this one's the animated, and then this one's the comic, but you've got the 2 different Boba Fett's. You've got the animated, and you've got the one from the Bounty Hunters series. And let me get Matt in here. What's up, dude?
Hey.
How's it going, guys?
What's happening?
Good.
Hey, so, I appreciate you guys, honestly. This has been like a roller coaster of wonderful things, highs and lows going through this process of the Kickstarter. But one thing I will say about just the action figure community in general is just how supportive they are, not only with like the random shout outs online, but then also you get your your creative support. So I mean, this all comes full circle where guys like Len print extra, like this is all stuff kind of behind the scenes, but guys like Len printing extra parts and encouraging me, hey, you got to show how these weapons fit with ogre scale stuff, because a lot of guys like that type of stuff. And I'm like, thanks, that's awesome. And then all of a sudden, hey, can I send these to can I send these over to Bill so he can do a video on it? And they're like, okay, we'll do this. And then all of a sudden, can I send these over to Eric because somebody wants to paint them? And I'm just like, I have absolutely no idea what's going on. It's like I'm kickstarting a toy line, and there's already like pre-production prints like floating around the toy community getting painted behind the scenes. And so I'm stoked. So Eric sent me this picture, and yes, it's been on the kind of the radar of us, like, do we do a weapons pack alternate colors that are like, Motu weapons rack type of color scheme, or how do we do this? And I'm all about the input of the people, because someone had mentioned it on another show we were on, I believe Legion's Lair, I think, said, like, what if you take each weapon set and like rotate it one dinosaur color scheme to the left, and then it will look and match them. And I'm just, I'm not too proud to admit when someone has a better idea than myself. So that happened. So we launched that, and we've been getting a lot of purchases for that. And then Eric sent me this picture of the shield, and it hits. Like, no one told him what color schemes to do. We just kind of said, hey, let's go for, more metallics, more of a real world look, a little bit of weathered. And outside of that, he came up with that shield. And I was so impressed that I'm behind the scenes, like, hey, talking to my designers, can we do a weapons pack like this with kind of based on this color scheme? And we all agreed it's 100%. So if you gladly help us out in that sense and get those other ones done, so we can do some mock-ups within the next 2 weeks and share with people. But we, again, it's you guys are awesome and supportive, and we think it'd be really cool to have this color set be kind of a secondary weapons pack option for somebody that might look at our Kickstarter and think, oh, I'm just going to click one extra weapons pack because I've got 4 ogres on my shelf, and I think those shields would look awesome on them. So yeah, that's kind of where it all kind of ended up.
The nice thing is, like on top of that, Eric takes beautiful product photos of his own things too. So like, like he can just send you the product photos like right away once they're done. Like
no, it looks fantastic. So no, I was very, very impressed and so surprised, because in the creative community, we definitely all have different gifts and different gift sets and different creative abilities. But again, if somebody can paint better than myself, or if somebody has an idea that's tweaked and you take my idea and you tweak it and you make it that much better, I think that there's a certain type of humility that it takes to be like, no, like that's it. Like I couldn't have picked out the color scheme to look like he did with that shield. I don't think any of the guys that I would have had try to do it as good as he did. So you know what, Billy Beige, I'm always on this couch. My wife puts me in the basement when I'm too loud and I'm talking about toys. So but yeah, no, Eric, I appreciate it, and I hope we can have a little again Miller Time weapons pack option.
Sorry, Eric.
No, it's awesome. It's like you said, man. I just want to make toys. I want to make cool stuff. So yeah, it's exciting for me to be able to help in any way that I can. I'm always going to be on team anybody who's trying to make their dream come true with toys, So I think that the whole concept's amazing, and it wasn't my intention to like weasel my way into your toy line. But,
believe me, we know who those people are. Okay, I'm not going to say any names on here, but we know who those people are.
All right, so
well, yeah, I'm honored and I'm thankful that.
No worries, man. I appreciate it. And then since we're on here telling news, if I could drop one more bomb, it's official. Like, we technically, from a number standpoint, because of retailers and a couple of wholesalers that we're working with behind the scenes that we're not doing up front on Kickstarter, we will be tomorrow unlocking the albino warrior.
Ooh.
So that one will be available tomorrow.
Nice.
We definitely love how Andrew, our designer, our colorist, he created that character. I'm actually currently writing his story into the new comic book that's coming out with this Kickstarter, and how he becomes albino and kind of the background of that character. And then we're gonna reveal his name also, which I'm sure you guys are gonna love as well. But yeah, so keep an eye on that tomorrow. We're gonna launch that, and then again, just to give everyone a heads up too on numbers, because you were talking about the add-ons, that if you are an all-in pledger and you hit that all-in, everything's $60, every figure is $60. Any add-on on top of that is you hit that level, so the albino will only be $60 for you. Now, if you are a single figure pledger at $65, that's what your extra is going to be, $65. So basically, it's kind of that reward of the more you support, the lesser the prices of the figure. And then again, we're going to try our best to get them at as many online retailers as possible. But they will hold that kind of $74.99 retail price point through those avenues post.
Cool.
But what I'm figuring it out. It's back end stuff. Backer kit. If you ever want to get a headache, try to go on that place and build something, because that's what we're trying to do right now. So we will have some stuff available through Backer Kit after the Kickstarter, but this will be for sure the least expensive you will ever see the figures out as far as cost goes. So
get in there and back it, because this is the best way to do it if you have the money up front. Like, best way.
Yep.
So there's so many people. Let me just kind of shift gears for a second.
Yeah.
So many people just throwing like hashtags, because we were about to do the giveaway.
Yeah.
And it's kind of funny. There's already 3 entries and you guys don't even know what it is. It just goes to show how terrible I am at coming up with clever ones. Because let me share this. Where is it? Because it's just boba. So while we're chatting, everybody, the giveaway again is for the Black Series Droids animated Boba Fett in the Black Series, the Bounty Hunters comic book, all black, the arena suit Boba Fett, Black Series, those 2 figures, just the one prize, both figures in the one pack. So throw that in the chat, hashtag Boba, and we'll draw that in a couple minutes. So I'm going to pull this down again and we can just chat a little bit more. Anything else, Matthew? Any other
no, that's
thoughts?
The only other thing I could say is that we, because of the price point of the figures, we did add a couple just standard comic book levels that just here where I live, there's been a handful of people that kind of want to support but don't have the money or the funds to buy a figure. So we did actually add some entry level, comic book levels where, for $10 or $20 or $30, they can get different comic books from Defenders of Eden. So we did add some of those lower tiers again, just to kind of stir up some activity. I know this is kind of a lull, sort of a place in the middle of a Kickstarter where you're coming to the last couple of weeks. But we really want to end strong. So, and also to you guys, if there's any outlets or fan groups or toy groups that might not have heard about it, I mean, sharing and spreading the news is kind of the best way, because, this is it's crazy. It's crazy. So.
That's a good point. Like there are some people who maybe can't afford to, or, don't really have the budget right now to like back the Kickstarter, but you can totally support the Kickstarter by spreading the word and just like letting people know about it. That's the way these things really really blow up.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, we got some entries. We're gonna draw this thing because what'll happen is we'll get into other news and then I'll completely forget about it and then I'll screw it up again like last time. So we're gonna draw this thing in like 2 minutes. Hashtag boba. And it's sorry, I have the wrong one up. It's hashtag boba. Hashtag boba. The McCoys are here. Tanya McCoy. Met them at Legions Con. Let's see who else. Trevor's here. Hashtag boba. Trevor gets to enter this week because he's not a guest host.
I didn't know that. Every time I miss a thing, I'll just log in and try and win your figure.
Yeah, there you go. Or just accidentally, like, oops, it logged me off, and then just get in there and be like, oh, I thought I could enter because I wasn't technically on the show that day.
Those figures are pretty cool.
All right, 1 more minute, everybody. Oh wait, the head pack all in price? Billy Beige is asking. Head pack all in price? Is that a thing?
Head pack all in price.
All the head packs?
There's 4 different head packs. I just wanted to make sure that I could include, because each of them actually you can't really tell too much from the pictures, and I tried to take more. Each of their necks actually are specific to that character, so we wanted to make sure that if you were to buy a head pack, you wouldn't have to just necessarily have the Triceratops with the stag plate on the back of the neck, because that's what his neck looks like. So we wanted to make sure that we had all of those on there. But there's Billy, are you asking for like a discount, an all-in head pack discount? I mean,
well, they're $30 or they're $25. Yeah. So it'd be $100 for the 4 packs.
Correct. Yep. Correct. Yep. We were trying to get down to that 20 where the weapons pack is, but we couldn't, adding the 3 extra neck parts in there too. So we had to be at that 25 point.
Yeah.
So sorry, Billy, if that's too much money for you. I completely understand.
He says, I'm all about discounts, but if you got them with the all-in for figures. Again, I'm not sure what that means.
Oh, I think he's talking about the $300 all-in. Do you get head packs too? But I presume no.
Oh, no, Billy, you don't, because the all-in actually was another $5 off each figure to do that all-in, and that's what got it down to the 300.
There you go. All right, let's do this drawing. Let me pull the tool back up. Let me view this tab and add that to stream. All right, we got 51 entries, which is pretty good. Usually, like, I think Legions tends to pull in the more entries, but we do have quite a bit of Star Wars fans too. So Black Series, Boba Fett's in 3, 2, 1, spin. Remember, if you win, just shoot me a direct message or an email. Send me an email to podcast@dorklair.com, and I'll get these out to you tomorrow. Death Seeker. That's a good name. Death Seeker. Congratulations, Death Seeker. Again, podcast@dorklair.com, or if you want to like DM me, you can do that on like Instagram or whatever, and I will send this out tomorrow probably. All right, let's get a couple more little news items in, and then we will wrap this one up. Congratulations, Death Seeker. Congrats. All right. Now, I know you jumped on randomly. It's up to you if you want to stay. You're more than welcome to, but don't feel bad if you gotta hop off or whatever.
I'm cool.
Cool. Sweet. All right. So I just wanted to, while we're on Star Wars, I wanted to mention this. This is pretty cool. So a couple years ago, there was a cool game called Star Wars Destiny. I loved it. It was like a collectible trading card game, but it had dice and stuff. It was a really fun game, but it kind of died. It just didn't it didn't succeed. I don't know if it was because it was like dice related or what, but they just announced, same company, Fantasy Flight Games. They just announced a new Star Wars game called Star Wars Unlimited, and there's nothing really to know about it, just that it's gonna have all original artwork, and that it's gonna be coming out in 2024. So I just wanted to mention that. I thought it was a really neat bit of news, because there's a long tradition of Star Wars trading card games going back to the Star Wars CCG back in the 90s. People were like big fans of that. Even though I didn't play it, I know that it was like a big deal.
Did they keep the dice?
No. So this is a completely different game. And I'm sure there's probably like you use dice to keep track of things and you might roll dice. But the actual, the other dice game is totally different. They
Okay.
did not stick with the dice. If anybody ever has a chance to play that Star Wars Destiny, it's so much fun. But, Fantasy Flight Games makes awesome games, and I have a feeling this is going to be a lot of fun. So I wanted to share that, and then I wanted to give one update on Sorcery. So this is something that we're going to be talking about a lot on the DORKLAIR, because I'm like completely hyped up about this. I did a whole episode where we went through the whole thing. And I wanted to just mention like the availability thing with Sorcery, because there were some people who are interested in this. So I wanted to update. So when we first did the coverage, it was Team Covenant that had beta booster boxes. So the alpha Kickstarter is shipping out probably next month. Actually, I'm going to have some of that in hand, but the beta stuff is coming out in the fall, and the distributor situation isn't like in place yet. Like eventually retail shops, local game shops, retailers, online retailers will be able to like buy from a distributor and just like sell it. But there's currently a few different sites that have like direct access to they ordered a ton of it. And so they have like direct access to it. And this is one of them. And so like, if you wanted, like, let's say the 4 starter decks, $40, this one's called gamegrove.gg, and they're like completely legit. They have a pretty big YouTube channel. They're like super active in the Discord for Sorcery and for other games and Magic and stuff like that. But this is another option if people were interested in it. You can get either the pre-con decks, you get 4 decks for $40. They're $10 each. Or you can get the bundle that gives you 36 booster packs, a box, and a playmat. And then this booster box that's $150 is like an add-on thing. But just wanted to mention that for people who are interested, that there's this other option for now. But I do think that like once distributors have it, there will be a lot more access, and you might even see like booster box prices less than $150 eventually. All right, so back to figures. Where's my link here? So Mezco, they teased this, MezcoToyz fair, or maybe like last year at like the New York Comic Con thing.
Yeah.
But this is the, what is it called again? The recovery suit. And Larry, you should be talking about this one. Tell us about the recovery suit, Superman.
Yeah, this is so again showing my age here. Back in the early 90s, DC decided to spike their sales of their title books by having something traumatic happen. First they killed Superman in the Doomsday thing, and then they had Nightfall. Well, they let the Superman thing run all year long for an entire year. In each of the titles, you had a different Superman. And there was this huge debate over the course of the year. Was it the Cyborg? Was it the Eradicator? Was it the Clone? Was it Steel? Who was it? And then at the conclusion of all this, I think it was a year or maybe 13 months after the death of, Superman came back. And it was in this suit. It was a recovery suit. It's Kryptonian DNA. We thought he was dead. He wasn't, blah, blah, blah. But anyway, it was a great excuse to put him in a really cool looking suit. And every version that they've done of this, be it in the comics or in the ill-fated Justice League movie, all had a really cool look. I think Mezco did a great job with this. It comes with a lot of awesome accessories. You've got, counting the hands that come on, you've got 7 sets of hands. You have 4 different heads. When he first came out, he had a beard, so you've got a regular bearded head, a screaming head, kind of a hair blowing bearded head, and then a shaved face. Then it comes with a couple of other really cool things. When he first came out of, coming back to life, he was not completely powered up, so he needed weapons. He needed to be able to fly. So it comes with that stuff. It comes with his arsenal of weaponry. It comes with the boots, the jet boots that he had, and it even comes with the torn cape from the actual Death of. And spoiler alert on a 30-year-old comic, the cyborg ended up being a really bad guy named Hank Henshaw. That's a whole other story. It was kind of cool though. They took this random kind of nothing burger of a character from years prior and weaved it in here and made it one of the ongoing villains. He was kind of like Ultron in the sense that you could destroy the body, but his consciousness was always out there somewhere. So he comes with the ripped off head of the Hank Henshaw cyborg Superman, but it really comes with a lot of cool stuff. Now, Mafex also has done this figure. They took pre-orders for it. I think they announced this about 2 or 3 weeks ago, maybe. And it comes with the same suit, the same getup, the same alternate feet with the jet. Obviously, not nearly as many accessories. Mezco just kills everyone on their accessories. This one is $95, I believe, and I know the Mafex was $105. It's really good. Your mileage is going to vary on what you prefer. You look at the Mezco Destro versus the classified. That's kind of the same choice you're going to make. Do you want that more realistic clothing? Do you want the extra accessories? And for actually $10 less, I like the body on the Mafex better, but I like the head and face sculpts here. The weapons are awesome, and I'm not sure what body they have underneath there, but it's not like Superman is ever going to need to get in any Spider-Man poses. So you're going to be able to do everything you need to do with this figure. And that's it. I think the real question is, with it being Mezco, when will they actually release it? Take their predicted release date and add on anywhere from 3 months to 3 years, and you're going to be in the general ballpark.
Yeah, and the Mafex is out now. Is that out yet or no?
It is. Is it out or was it just pre-ordered?
No, that's already been. Yeah, that's out. It came out.
Oh, it is out. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Sometime.
And
So if you want one now, that's
if you want one, if you want one before Jesus comes back, you might want to get Mafex. Now, the one thing about Mafex is, I don't have any other Superman. That's a lie. I have the Dark Knight Returns Superman. But if both of the figures, both of the manufacturers, they make great joints, very easy to move. They stay in poses great. I like the way that the Mafex feel in hand better. I don't know if you guys have a preference, but still, it's a great looking figure. And I think I've got that the Superman in black coming with the Justice League 3-pack. I think it's him, Batman, and Wonder Woman, I believe. And that's supposed to ship anytime. Yeah. So I'll have a Superman in black. I'm kind of on the fence on this one, but it's a great looking figure. And I think this could do a cool thing in opening the door for other figures from that storyline. If they're doing this one, then we could realistically see a Superboy or a John Henry Irons or a Hank Henshaw or an Eradicator. And those would all look really cool in the Mezco style, I think.
For people wondering about the suit, just the look of it, I can't speak to what it's actually going to end up being, but the look of it reminds me a lot of Diabolique, that figure. Really one random figure that they did. And like that figure moves really well, like the material. And I've heard it might be similar to the Spider-Man, the black suit Spider-Man, but if it's the same material, it's an awesome material. It's a really cool feel to it, and it moves really well.
And that's with all the stuff. I mean, Mezco makes really high quality stuff. I know people are losing their minds over the '89 Batman costume, but that notwithstanding, they make great products. I've never had a bad experience with them, and with all those accessories, all that different sculpted plastic, $95, it really is a deal. It really is.
Yeah, that was pretty almost surprising that it was that cheap from them.
I was shocked. I was expecting like 110, 115.
Yeah,
especially right after this one, because
Yeah.
The first three, or I forget how like the prices on all of them, but I remember like Iron Man was originally 90, I think.
Yeah.
Right.
It's 90.
Or maybe 100, but like this is 125. This is the other one. This is a little bit older than that pre-order. This is one that I will probably get, but again, I'm so like not that interested in like pre-ordering Mezcos anymore that it'll be something I'll just have on my radar for the future. But I've been unloading a lot of my Mezcos, but I have not brought myself to get rid of any of the Iron Man figures. I think their Iron Man figures are amazing. And yeah, I want this one.
Yeah, they feel really, really good in hand. Like they're more, I mean, Hot Toys Iron Man have, a decent amount of die cast, but this feels like nearly solid when you're holding them.
They are tanks. Yeah. Yep. Pretty awesome stuff. And this is the first one with the fully unmasked. Like they had it where you would pull the faceplate off and have his face.
Yeah.
But like this one has the full head.
Yeah, it's a good sculpt too, and nicely painted, and lots of
new parts,
blast accessories.
Yeah, but I do feel like 125 compared to what the other ones were. I guess it's been a long time, inflation and whatnot, but like still 125 feels high for me.
Yeah,
but I'll still get it. Like if it was like right now and it was in stock and it was 125, I'd buy it right now. But I'm just like, it's so far out in my mind and I'm like, yeah, I'll think about it later. But I do want it. It's got that new upper torso, new heads, maybe a new pelvis area.
Yeah, I thought something like the arms and parts of the arms and legs were reused, but I didn't like sit and study it or anything.
It might just be the upper arms and upper legs in the mid torso here. Yeah, I haven't studied it either, but pretty cool stuff. And then
Hedgehog, yes. I mean, I don't know if you're joking, but yeah, there is a lot of metal in them.
Yeah, no, they weigh a ton. Okay, and then one more piece. We have the MDLX. These are the smaller size. So the DLX are the big ones. The MDLX are the smaller size from 3.0, and we have Starscream.
Yeah, this is now so far I've bought everything that's come out from this. It was Prime Bumblebee, the Gold Bug version of Bumblebee, Cliff Jumper, and Nemesis Prime. There's a Megatron is supposed to come out any time now. Rodimus is coming out a couple of months after that, and then this guy's scheduled for sometime in Q4. Now he is more expensive than the previous ones. The original Prime was something like $80, and then Nemesis Prime was 100. Megatron was only 80. Bumblebee was 60 or 70. The Cliff Jumper was 80 or 90 because it was a limited edition. Starscream was 119. But it comes with a lot more pieces, interchangeable pieces. There was an episode in G1 where Starscream disguised itself as Optimus Prime, so you can mix and match those parts to replicate, kind of their version of that scene. But there's a lot more pieces and parts to this than the others, so that's where that additional cost is coming from. It's also the largest of them. The Bumblebees were I want to say they were 14 centimeters, 12 or 14 centimeters. The Prime was 18, Megatron's 18. This guy's 20 centimeters, so he's about a half-inch taller than the other two. I think they're measuring floor to wingtips, because I think that's how the Rodimus was measured, that fin on his back. So everything so far has been perfectly in scale. I haven't seen a group picture with him with the others, but I'm assuming this will continue the trend. And Bill, you ended up getting the Prime, right?
I did. I ended up selling it to a friend. Okay. But it was a cool figure, but it was one of those things I'm not going to go with this line. And if somebody was like, "Hey, you still have one of those?" And because I had ordered 2 at the time, and I was like, "Yeah, I'll sell it." So I ended up unloading it. It's cool though.
They're great. I mean, if you want something that's it's faithful to G1, there are enough of the color and structural cues there, you know what it is, but really updated, kind of halfway between G1 and kind of the designs we saw in the Bumblebee movie. So still staying with a really cool looking aesthetic. Obviously, they don't transform, so if you want something really cool and it doesn't have to transform for it to be a transformer for you, I couldn't recommend this line more highly. It's a lot of fun. The posability is great. It's kind of the Mezco or Mafex of Transformers. The quality is really high. The paint work is unbelievable. I mean, the detail they get, and you know, for it to be that small a figure, to have as many moving parts as they do is really impressive. Now, if you really want to be blown away, spend the money, buy a DLX version of something, and there's your hot toys. But this is going to be great. I'm looking forward to it. I've already pre-ordered it.
Nice. All right, and that'll do it for all of our news. I want to just say thank you all again to the members. Thank you all again to the super chats and everybody who's been so supportive. Appreciate it. And thank you for coming on, like, you know, just spur of the moment, Matthew, for coming on the show. And
Yeah, appreciate it. Yeah.
Eric for coming on to here and just sharing all of your lovely customs, and just, you know, been a long time coming to have you on. I very much appreciate it, man.
Thank you so much for having me. I don't always catch the lives, but I usually try to catch up, you know, afterwards, and I don't get to comment much or whatever, but I watch the podcast quite a bit, and I'm really happy to be here.
Awesome. Chris, Larry, everybody, thanks for watching. And until next time, may the force be with you.
Follow me into the